you're all having a really great day. Wonderful evening. I'm very, very excited to be presenting this to you all tonight. I've been working on this pretty hard, and this is actually my passion, functional medicine, and I've actually just really got into inner healing for myself, and I am a coach. So I am combining all of this together, and I wanted to present this to you all so you really get an idea of, you get to know a little bit more about who I am, actually, because I'm going to talk a little bit about myself and my personal background and some of my schooling, but why functional medicine is so powerful and why inner healing is so powerful. And when you combine that with coaching, how it really can help a person with their healthcare. And that's why I call it the inspiring, spiritual, and empowered approach to healthcare. So let's start. So we are going to, again, be discussing the power of functional medicine, inner healing, and coaching. And so right off the bat here, we're just going to introduce myself in case you don't know who I am. My name is April Johnson, and I am a functional medicine coach. And I'm very, very, very passionate to helping women navigate through their health issues by identifying the root cause, not only just in the physical body, but we're looking at the mental and the spiritual as well. So I combine functional medicine concepts and energy healing so that women can really begin thriving in their physical, mental, and spiritual wellness. So tonight, this is what I'm going to be discussing with you all. Our current healthcare and sharing some chronic disease statistics that I honestly, when I was doing some research, kind of got me. I'm going to talk a little bit about what is a health coach, because a lot of people don't know what they are or what they do. I'm going to just share a little bit of what the entry level education is for a health coach, but I'm also going to elaborate a little bit more and talk about my own education, my own credentials, and even my own personal background, because my personal background is really the reason that I became a health coach. And I'll tell you that if you ever run into another health coach or anybody in the health and wellness space, they're going to tell you most likely that they had their own journey that led them to wanting to be able to help people with their health. So I'm going to talk about that. And then what is the role of a health coach? Because we have our role, we have our scope of practice, and we're not allowed to cross those lines. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Going over functional medicine, the importance of identifying the root cause versus symptom management. Overall health is more than food. So we gotta dive a little bit deeper when it comes to our health. And I want to talk about the F word, which is fun. That's so important to have in our life. And if you're not having fun, what is the point? You know what I mean? And then I'm going to be combining it all together with the power of functional medicine, inner healing, and coaching overview. And this is just to give you an idea of really how I help my clients. So first, let's talk about our current healthcare and statistics. So I'm sure a lot of you have experienced this, because this is something that I actually do hear a lot from my own clients, is they have to really experience a lot of symptoms, go to their doctor, get the lab work done to be able to be diagnosed with a condition. I just want to let people know this too, because I actually had this conversation, I think it was last week, with a new client of mine who was telling me that she's experiencing some major GI issues. She's going to her doctor, they're getting all this lab work done, and she looks really great on paper. Like, her labs look great, but they can't figure out what's going on with her. I want people to understand about the lab work and how you can have symptoms and not be diagnosed with anything. It's because reference ranges on lab work doesn't necessarily mean that's optimal for an individual. And this is because reference ranges are defined as a set of values that's 95% of the population. So if you've ever looked at your reference ranges on your lab work, you probably noticed that there's some pretty big gaps right there, right? So if you're in like the clinically lower part of the reference range, most likely you're going to be experiencing symptoms, but since you're still within normal range, there's not anything wrong, right? If you've ever experienced that, you can raise your hand. I know I can't see you, but I hear this so many times from my clients, and I just have to tell them that just because you're in those reference ranges does not mean that is optimal for you. And you can still be experiencing symptoms even though that's the case. And for me, honestly, I just feel like with our current healthcare system that we have to get to a place of badness. before we're actually finally diagnosed. And then what? Most likely, if it's a long-term chronic condition, you're given a prescription, right? I just don't understand personally myself how we can not be more preventative. And that's where functional medicine shines, because when I look at lab work and if I see a trend, like if someone's having a fasting glucose that's increasing over the course of 3 years, I'm going to want to look at their fasting insulin. I'm going to look at their A1C. They could be pre-diabetic. And why do we have to allow people to get to this place of badness before they're diagnosed? And again, that's where functional medicine really shines. So chronic disease statistics, I want to share this with you all in case you don't know this, and I didn't realize this either, but 6 in 10 adults have a chronic disease in this country. 6 in 10 adults. That is a alarming number. Then 4 in 10 have 2 or more. So the leading cause of death and disability and leading drivers of the nation's $3.8 trillion in annual healthcare costs is heart disease, cancer, chronic lung disease, stroke, Alzheimer's, diabetes, chronic kidney disease. Personally, when I see that, I think that we have a lot of work that we need to be doing within our healthcare system to help people not get to the place of a chronic disease. So heart disease is the #1 killer in the United States still, with 655,000 lives taken every single year. Cancer is then the second, with 1 in every 4 deaths in the United States. 34.2 million Americans, just over 1 in 10 have diabetes, with 88 million, which is 1 in 3 have pre-diabetes. That is alarming as well. And this is like what I was speaking about just a second ago about where functional medicine is really great, is about being preventative. When I was talking about looking at someone's lab work and seeing a trend, maybe we need to start diving a little deeper. There seems to be something going on here, and this person could definitely be insulin resistant. Autoimmune conditions are up 23.5 million, which is more than 7% of the population. And that number is increasing. And I really do believe that autoimmune conditions are going to be a pretty big epidemic. A lot of people are struggling with them and dealing with them. And usually when one person gets one, they usually get diagnosed with more following. So getting to the root cause of why the immune system is attacking the organs is really how we can stop that from happening. So that's where functional medicine is amazing. And just one last statistic I wanted to share was 200 plus million people worldwide suffer from thyroid-related illness, which the vast majority of them are women, 1 in 7. Over half are undiagnosed, and so many more are undertreated. And I call this the silent epidemic because I will tell you that probably 99% of my clients have suboptimal thyroid function. And a lot of them have not even been technically diagnosed because it's a lab work, but they're experiencing symptoms. If you're interested, I did a webinar, when was that? The end of January, I think it was, called Women Thyroid in Labs. Very valuable with information, going a little bit more in depth about thyroid. So if that's of interest to you, do go check that out. So I want to break down what is a health coach, because I truly feel health coaches are needed considering where we are at with our current healthcare system. So I just took 2 definitions that were off of the internet, and because they both basically explain what it is that we do. So a holistic health coach is a trained professional who uses an integrative approach to both diet and lifestyle changes to improve their clients' health. We work as a guide toward an overall healthier life, and we do this by looking at the patient's nutrition patterns, relationships, physical fitness, spirituality, and more. And another definition is that we're a supportive mentor and a wellness authority who helps others feel their best through individualized food and lifestyle changes that meet their unique needs and health goals. And yes, as a health coach and what I do with my own clients, it is personalized, it is individualized. Healthcare is not a one-size-fits-all approach, and every single person is different. So most health coaches, I would say probably all of them, maybe not all of them, but I would say most of them, health coaches have received some type of education. They have gone through some type of a program, and they have received a specialized certification. So for me personally, I actually started back in January of 2016, and I went to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and that is a year-long health coaching program. And I graduated that back in January of 2017, and I do have a certification for Integrative Nutrition Health Coach, INHC. Um, then after I saw my first client, I realized that I wanted to help women on a much deeper level because my first client actually had some thyroid issues. She was taking some medications that were affecting her gut. She had some things going on, and I didn't feel like I could help her enough with the goals that she set for herself because of her health issues. So I found functional medicine and fell in love with the concepts of getting to the root cause of health issues. I'm like, that is exactly what I want to do. It's exactly how I want to help people. And that's when I enrolled into SAFM, which is the School of Applied Functional Medicine. It is also an online program, and I joined that in September of 2018. So SAFM actually has 2 semesters, and they're a very rigorous curriculum. We're talking, learning a lot about the interconnectedness of the body. We cover disease. We cover disease begins in the gut. We cover about supplements and nutrition and lab work, like everything, and open coaching calls and all of that. So it's a very rigorous curriculum. And I completed both semester 1 and 2. And I actually did their semester exams in order to be certified. So I completed both of those, and I actually did my case study submission, which is the level 3. That's the final piece to be certified. You have to take I took one of my own actual cases, and I presented it to the scientific board. And I passed that. Actually, I got notified at that beginning of March, which was super exciting. But yes, I am now AFMC, which means I am Applied Functional Medicine Certified. That is a huge to-do. So I've been in school for a while. I'm kind of glad to not be in school anymore, but getting that certification was just the best. And just so you know, in order for me to keep my cert, I actually have to I have to take a recertification exam every 3 years in order to keep that. So some places don't actually do that, but with my school, they do. So just to give you a little bit about my personal background about how I got into health and wellness. So my journey began back in 2009. So I've been on this for a while. I started by watching a well-known documentary called Food Inc. If you've never watched it, I encourage you to do it. It was the light bulb that went off, and once I watched it, me and my husband realized we couldn't eat the way that we were eating anymore. We just couldn't do it, not after what we learned. So we both made the decision to make some pretty big changes, by swapping out processed foods for more organic choices and produce. And I also had to learn to cook. Truth be told, I was a horrible cook. If it didn't come from a box, I didn't make it. And I had to learn how to make healthy meals. And now I can say that I can, go in the kitchen and whip something together from scratch with no problem anymore. But it's taken me quite a few years to get to that point. But I did learn how to cook. And then from there, we implemented a garden. Our garden currently right now is a 40 by 60. It's huge. It's actually prepared and ready for the season. So we're just waiting for everything to be, the weather to be good so we can start putting things into the ground. And we learned how to preserve food. So when I was, we were bringing all these yields in, we were like, oh, wow, what are we going to do with all this excess food? We got to do something with it, right? So we learned how to preserve. And our next big thing was really just buying locally. All of the meat that we consume here in our house is all local. I don't buy anything from the grocery store. I buy very little from the grocery store, to be honest. It's mostly from our own garden and local and the grocery store. But the thing is that when I was making all of these changes to my food and I started implementing also some changes into my lifestyle, I noticed that I was experiencing changes with my own health. I was struggling with weight issues for a long time. I was a yo-yo dieter. And after I had my kids, it was just a struggle to lose weight. And I was able to lose up to 30, I think it was 30 or 35 pounds I lost. But I also noticed that my digestive system, my digestive issues were improving because I was having some major digestive issues that I thought were normal, but they weren't normal. and my thyroid function improved, my hormones improved, my sleep improved. And I was like, wow, there's something to this. So I noticed it with myself, started learning more about health and wellness. And that's when I decided that I wanted to become a health coach, because I wanted to help people, because a lot of people need help in this area. And I just wanted to be there to support them and teach them everything that I learned. And that's what led me to become a health coach. So let's talk a little bit about what exactly is the role of a health coach. So my job as a coach is to provide education, support, and accountability. Also, I can be very helpful in building a relationship with a medical provider by helping my client with education and providing forms. If you caught my thyroid webinar that I did, I provided a wonderful thyroid lab guide that has a template at the end, and that is something that the client can print off and they can give to your medical provider and say, this is what the full panel is and this is what I want. I actually had a lady tell me that she actually did do that, and she was able to advocate for herself and got that full panel, which was amazing. I love hearing those stories. What we don't do is that we don't diagnose medical conditions or disease, and we do not prescribe. But I will suggest and recommend supplements if needed. However, at the end of the day, it is really up to the client to make that decision to actually take those supplements. They don't have to. I can make those recommendations, but they don't have to take them. And most importantly, as coaches, we are guides. I'm not here to fix people. And I provide the education support. And most importantly, I just really want to inspire my clients to making the best health decisions for themselves. And everyone is different. And again, healthcare is not a one-size-fits-all approach. Now into the love of my life of functional medicine. So functional medicine is backed by concepts that health issues in the body, they have a root cause. The body is interconnected, and unfortunately in our current healthcare system, it is separated into pieces. I mean, you have your thyroid here, then the heart, and then, the GI, it's all you have to go and see specialists, right? Well, with functional medicine, it's all interconnected, not separated. And to truly optimize health for an individual, we really do have to address the root cause that is upstream in order to correct what is flowing downstream. A lot of my clients have GI issues, like digestive issues. So if they're not able to break down their food properly, then they're being malabsorption and maldigestion, then there's going to be missing protein and key nutrients and minerals that the other systems in the body need. So if they're not optimizing their gut, if they're not getting good digestion, then there's going to be downstream effects, and that's what that means. So how do we address the root cause upstream? Well, this is where functional medicine takes healthcare one step further, and we ask the question, why? Why is this unique person experiencing these symptoms? Why is this body system not functioning optimally? Is it low stomach acid? Is it digestive enzyme issue? Is it bile flow? Is it thyroid? These are the things that I ask when I'm working with a client. So I help my clients by identifying the why so that we can address the root, and then we can start their path towards healing with specific targeted action steps. So there's a reason why we should be identifying the root cause. It's very important versus just symptom management. Slapping Band-Aids on symptoms does not promote healing and health. It actually promotes further health issues downstream because it's not addressing what is happening in the body at the root. Case in point that I have here on the slide is PPIs for acid reflux. Very important for short-term triage, absolutely, because having stomach acid up here, that's not good at all. But why is a person having acid reflux? That's really where functional medicine goes the next step further. Is it food sensitivities? Is it bacterial overgrowth? Is it magnesium deficiency? These are the things that I look at with a client if they're dealing with acid reflux. Because long-term use of a PPI actually starts to decrease your stomach acid production to a point where it actually will promote health issues more and downstream. So yes, identifying that root cause. Is it leaky gut, inflammation, thyroid, hormone, nutrient deficiencies, microbial overgrowth, gut dysbiosis? Got to get to that root. So by asking those questions, laying out those puzzle pieces out in front, we can start to put them together and identify what that root cause is for an individual's health issues. And again, it comes down to maximizing what a person needs, minimizing what is harmful, and prioritizing an environment for healing. I will tell you that your body is naturally seeking out wellness all the time, and it truly wants to heal itself. Unfortunately, the problem is our bodies are just trying to survive in the environment we put it in due to our everyday choices. So I'm telling you, when you make those changes, like I mentioned above, you're going to see your body shift into wellness. So yes, overall health is so much more than just what we eat. So I'm going to talk a little bit about inner healing. And again, this is something that I've actually been doing myself. When did I really start doing this? Probably late last year. And it has been so powerful for me that I really want to be able to help women as well, transformational wise, because I know what it has done for me. So the food that we eat and what we put in our body, it matters 100%. We need good sleep. We need self-care. We need safe movement, which is also exercise. But we also need to make sure that we're going inward and healing within ourselves. So this could be deep emotional pain, past unresolved traumas that have been trapped inside of the body. These emotions, they are energy, and they can become blocked energy. And over time, due to them being blocked, they will actually start to impact your life and your health. So like a good question I wanted to ask you all is, like, have you ever wanted to change your diet, create a new habit, get more active to find you get started, but you end up quitting? Or maybe it's following a dream of yours with a new career or going back to school and you end up not doing it. Like, there's reasons why. There's those limiting beliefs, and they come from somewhere. So what is stopping you from reaching your full potential? And is like what I'm going to share here is actually some of my own limiting beliefs, which was I had a lot of self-doubt. I had a lot of fear about, pursuing my career, low self-worth, confidence, shame, guilt. Some of the other ones that I found that I am a recovering perfectionist, a people pleaser. Like, all of this stuff comes from somewhere. And that's where the power of inner healing comes into the picture. So some of the examples of inner healing modalities that I have actually been doing myself is meditation, working on my chakras. That has been powerful, by the way. Reiki has been amazing. I do that on myself every day now, and I'm actually currently in the process of being certified 1 and 2 in Reiki, and I cannot wait for that. Journaling, grounding, and spending time in nature. And I will just share this little plug-in at Firefly because Kara has created a wonderful program called the Mind Body Detox. And I was lucky to be a beta tester in it. And I think this was back in October. And it changed my life. I love that program. It is amazing. It has helped me. It has helped so many other people. So if you want to know more about the Mind Body Detox program, go check out Firefly and go look into that. It is an amazing program. But it really focuses on the chakras and identifying what we wanted to get rid of, what we want to detox. And mine was self-doubt, and it totally helped me with that. Just want to throw that out there. And by the way, just so you know, when you're healing yourself, you're also helping to heal others, which is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. So let's talk about the F word. Fun. Are you having a daily dose? I'll tell you what. I think when I grew up as an adult, I realized, or I was under the impression or told that adults don't really have that much fun, and it's only for kids to do playful things, and adults can't, which is baloney. So that has definitely changed in my life. But we shouldn't be taking life seriously all the time. We really, truly do need to learn to relax and unwind and to connect to our inner child. Because what does that inner child want to do? Have you ever had that conversation with your inner child? I know mine likes to have fun. She likes to play. She likes to be creative. She likes to dance. She likes to listen to music. These are the things that she likes to do, and hang out with her friends and just laugh and be silly. So if you don't know what your inner child wants to do, or if you haven't had that connection, I encourage you to go in and have that conversation with her or him. Maybe it's connecting with nature. I like doing that, having fun with friends, laugh, dance, act goofy, like I just said. By relaxing, unwinding, and having fun, you're actually activating your parasympathetic nervous system. And most people are operating under their sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight. And continued activation actually will start to impact the body, health, and the immune system. I think that we are living in a sympathetic dominant world. And this is why a lot of people have health issues, is because they're under that constant stress. And I have seen personally what it's done to me, but I've also seen how it's affected my clients. So really getting mindful and learning to relax and have fun, and maybe it's, like I said, connecting with nature or deep breathing or meditation, however it shows up in your life, just make sure that you do it on a daily basis. And like I said, if you're not having fun in life, seriously, what's the point? You know what I mean? So make it a point to incorporate more of the F word into your life starting today. So this is where I'm going to tie it all together. This is really how I help my clients by using the power of functional medicine, which so I shared with you all the functional medicine concepts. They're very, very powerful. Got to get to that root cause of what's going on in that physical body. But it's also important that we, go inside of ourselves and heal within, looking at, are we dealing with self-doubt? Are we dealing with confidence issues? Are we dealing with perfectionism or people pleasing? Like, where is that coming from? And really working on that and processing them and releasing them. And then, of course, coaching. I mean, that's what I do. Put it all together and help and be my client's guide. So again, my job as a coach isn't to fix people, but to provide that education, support, and most importantly, inspire them to make the best health decisions for themselves. I want my clients to also, this is a big one, I want them to know that just because they have a health issue, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with them or even broken. I mean, I let them know that it isn't true and provide them with hope, something that I truly believe our current healthcare system seriously lacks. I've had people come to me and be like, my doctor, they don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't feel good. Am I ever going to feel good? Like, these are the things that I hear. And yeah, you can. So giving them that hope is important. I work with my clients one-to-one to identify possible root causes for their health issues. And this is done by a very thorough intake form. It's like 15 or 16 pages long. It's pretty thorough. Toxicity symptom questionnaire, which is quite a few pages as well. Lab work, recent lab work, even if you have lab work, going back a few years, and asking some really great questions, and then really holding space for the client to just tell me their story. I think a lot of people really just want to be heard, and I make it it's very important for me to make sure that I hold that space for them, and they can tell me exactly what's going on with them. So the body is interconnected, and when it comes down to putting those puzzle pieces together, it's, again, are we talking gut health? Is it poor digestion, inflammation, nutrient deficiencies, hormone imbalance? Is it suboptimal thyroid function? Is it possibly their self-talk, low self-worth, and so on? I just want to point this out, that the body does listen to the mind. There is a mind-body connection. So if we have that negative self-talk, if we have that low self-worth, it's going to affect us, and it's going to affect our health. Once possible root causes are identified, then we can implement target specific actions, such as maybe making some changes to their diet, looking at nutrient support, detoxification support, thyroid support, hormone support, reducing inflammation. That's a huge one. A lot of people are dealing with chronic inflammation. Increase joy in life, vitamin J. Spirituality, connecting with source, the universe, God, having that type of relationship, going inward and doing that inner healing work. And there's so much more. So using the power of functional medicine along with inner healing is what's going to leads to thriving in your physical, mental, and spiritual wellness. And that's why I call this an inspiring, spiritual, and empowered approach to your healthcare. So maybe you're listening to this and you're like, I'm kind of curious about if April can help me with my specific health issues. Maybe you're dealing with a gut issue. Maybe you're dealing with thyroid issues, or you think you're dealing with thyroid issues. Maybe you're dealing with inflammation, food sensitivities, and you'd like to get to the root cause of what is going on inside of your body. And maybe it is low self-worth and negative self-talk as well. Then you can contact Firefly. There is the phone number going on there at the bottom. I do free 15-minute consultations, and there's no obligation to work with me if it's not a good fit. But I just want to get to know you, a little bit about you, what's going on with you, and then I can share with you exactly how it is that I can help you. And if that is something that's of interest to you, then from there we can do that 90-minute intake. And that's really where the deep dive goes, where I was just mentioning with the thorough intake form and the symptom questionnaire with the lab work. And then you can tell me a little bit more about your health journey. So again, if you're interested in doing that, please contact Firefly, again, at the number that is scrolling at the bottom. And again, to truly begin the path of healing, you have to identify the root cause in the body, mind, and spirit. A coach such as myself will be there to educate, inspire, and most importantly, empower you while you are on your own personalized health journey. So I don't know if there's any questions. If there is, you can leave them. But that's all I have for you guys tonight. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got to learn a little bit more about me. You got to learn a little bit about functional medicine and inner healing and, health coaching, and why I really, truly feel like putting it all together is really going to help people with their health. So, all right, everybody. Well, I hope you have a really great evening. And I have a webinar, I think, coming up next month, and I'll let you all know what that is. So I can't wait to share that one with you all, too. All right. Bye.